Huffing paint and sniffing taint. Welcome to the MD cast. How you doing, boys?
It's a good start, Kyle. I'm very glad you said these important words.
Yes.
I too like to sniff some butt cracks.
Yes.
It's not quite butt crack. It's almost butt crack.
Almost.
It's like, the transitionary zone,
Close enough.
The fleshy fun bridge.
Yeah.
The Sahara Desert to the places in between it.
The balls in the asshole.
The balls. Such beautiful descriptions. Are you sure you guys aren't poets?
Balls in the asshole.
Welcome to the MD cast. Tyler's dead again, but we still have Q. Hey, Q.
Was boppin' Jimbo.
We just booling in basement.
We are finally back in the basement.
So we back in the basement.
Oh, swallow my basement, turn it inside basement. Find nothing but faith in basement.
Wanna put my tender basement in a blender. Watch it spin around to
absolutely based.
A beautiful basement.
Based in the basement.
Basement.
When they asked
That's why they call
what
it
it's
a basement.
when they asked what it's based on, we say basement.
We say ment.
Basement.
Me and Kyle have eaten Tyler. I mean,
yes.
Edibles. So,
who says Tyler isn't edible?
I mean, anything's edible, really.
If you are willing to try it.
Did you hear about that's why the fucking guy that played Anakin in like Revenge of the Sith, or whichever one comes after Attack of the Clones, I think.
Revenge of the Shits.
Yeah, he got blacklisted because in an interview they were like, it's something along the lines of like, would you eat human if you were stranded on an island, or like, what would the one thing that you would like, what's the last thing you would eat before you would starve if you're on a stranded island? And he was like, people. And then he just hasn't gotten roles because of it.
Only he could get a role on like a Castaway reboot.
You know, I think he would have not gotten blacklisted if he said sand. Or Padme's dead coochie.
But he doesn't like sand.
That's why he doesn't go to the Middle East.
Or any beach.
Especially one with magma, you know? It's very coarse and rough and flammable.
And it gets everywhere. And he just sees it and he goes, I hate you!
He didn't even know that Obi-Wan was there that whole movie.
He was just the same.
He saw all the magma particles in the air and he was like, and swinging his lightsaber around.
I guarantee you, when Palpatoids,
Papa John.
Papa John's,
Papa Hemorrhoid.
Yeah, when Papa John's tricked him, I'm pretty sure he saw all the younglings as grains of sand.
Exactly.
And he had to keep cutting them, because if you cut grains of sand, it turns into even more grains of sand.
You just keep it going. I mean, to be fair, the same can be said of children. You cut a child in half, you've got two children now.
I don't think that children are the same premise. You've got, like, a dead child that is just in two pieces. It's different with sticks. You don't have two children. It's not perfect mitosis.
Okay,
Yet.
but where do sticks fit into this?
Well, you break a stick in half. What do you have? You got two
Half
sticks.
a stick.
Oh man, it was a mistake.
Every
Star
day's
Wars was a mistake. George Lucas, 2020.
George Luco.
Georgie Luco.
What if he renamed himself to George Lucario and then fought in the Pokemon tournaments?
What if he changed his name to George Lucius and then he got Lucius?
What if he changed his name to George Floyd? And got kneed on the neck.
That's enough.
I would be absolutely breathless at this decision. So
I would be breathtaken by every single film he would produce.
You're breathtaking.
All right.
No, you're breathtaking.
Okay.
You're literally taking my breath away.
Guys, we're moving on now.
Oh boy.
Yes.
What are we moving on to, Eric?
Okay, so you know how like sporting events, they're filling up their crowds with like those big TV monitors, and they're just having somebody sit in their front room on their webcam, like watching the game and cheering.
Oh, I
and
thought
stuff.
they were just filling them up with cardboard cutouts and sex dolls.
They did that for a little bit. Well, I don't know if they had the sex doll ones.
I
but-
think that was the thing.
I mean, a lot of people have them in today's day and age. They gotta fill the seats somehow.
But how long do you think it's gonna take for like somebody to catch somebody doing something lewd on there? Like there'll be a guy squatting on his counter, just like goat-seeing himself in the fucking camera.
He's just sitting there for an entire sports match, goat seeing himself. Like, I sure hope someone notices.
You just see someone get shot in the background, or an FBI raid.
Someone
It's like
gets swatted.
it's a kiss cam, and it's a couple, and they get raided by SWAT team.
What if they had kiss cams and then somebody just started fucking their wife?
Oh my god. Better yet, kiss cam. There's a friggin' old couple. Oh, wrinkles.
Old bad.
People looking like raisins.
What if they did that? Someone did that thing where he wanted to propose to his girlfriend or whatever at the football game, but they were just sitting at home with a fucking screen.
What if it was like split screen? You know, like back in good old PS2 days. And it's just proposal, and then better yet, the girl plays the Ace Attorney objection or whatever.
I wonder if like they'll get a bunch, if it'll ever get to the point where people start coordinating stuff online, where like there'll be a couple like crazy based goons out there, and they just both start like holding up swastikas or something. Or like how many people get involved. Like I don't know how the premise is, if you can like buy a seat for somebody else too.
You know, I think it'll be even better if it just turned into like a coordinated deep web stream type of thing, where it's just some shadowy individuals making this guy eat a cereal on a table, and they're just staring him down.
What if?
Let's go to the kiss cam.
What if all the
Psych.
sports was going on, and there's all the screens with all the people, and then it goes into like it zooms in on a bunch of them, and you see that the people who are currently playing are the ones on the webcam.
Oof. Let's make it into a horror film at this point. Just make everyone
Starring like
Spooky sports.
starring both the team member, like both teams members, and they have to set aside their differences and work together to solve the mystery.
I mean, you can go that far if you want, but I was gonna say like, it's like, all right, let's go to the kiss cam, and then you just see like tied up, what do you call it, like the sport people's like family just tied up and about to be executed.
It's like, that's
You
my
bet-
wife!
That's my
You better
wife.
hit that home run, bucko, or she's gonna get it.
Or she's gonna get the kiss of death.
That'd be like a Black Mirror episode.
I was thinking Saw.
I don't even know what. I know what Saw is. I haven't seen it in a while. I
Yeah,
know what
it
Black Mirror
cuts, it
is.
spins.
Black Mirror is a British show, and it's just kind of because of that, it's a write-off.
You know, if only podcasts could actually encapsulate the emotions and the facial expressions that I just had right now of pure agony and suffering after listening and watching Kyle's arbitrary actions. I can only say as a Asian, disappointment. Absolute disappointment.
I needed to illustrate saw blades with my hands.
Saw blades don't fucking rub together like this.
What if there's two going opposite directions?
Have
That's
you never
stupid.
seen a pedophile go through a wood chipper? Come on, man. The saw blades do definitely
But that's
go like
not
this.
a saw blade. That's a wood chipper.
It's a saw blade.
No, it isn't.
It will be when I call it that way. Trust me. If I become a dictator, you know, I can change the dictionary like that, you know, like Big Brother in 1984, you just change up the definitions. Traps equal not gay, question mark.
You just create new speak.
Okay, but are traps gay though?
Traps?
Yeah.
Most definitely are gay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Kyle?
Well, yeah, they're gay. But, like,
If it has a
the
dick.
only...
if there's a,
They're gay.
Hey,
But
Kyle, I know
No.
you're about to say. You're gonna say the penis only constitute for 2 point something something of the
No,
body
I
mass,
was
so
going
it's
to
only
say the
2%
penis
gay.
makes it cuter. No. I was going to say, alright, here, the real question is, because we all know traps is gay, but the real question is it gay if you don't know it's a trap?
I say no. Mainly because I've been victim to that.
Because gotta cover those bases.
Do tell this story. I've never heard of this.
I'm pretty sure that I already told it on the podcast, but like, I was reading this one manga where it was like Monster Girl Infirmary, and like, they didn't show it at the start, but like, there's a maid cafe, and there's like a bunch of cute girls that are introduced, and like, they show it at the very end for whatever reason, but I look on just it's so subtle, it's ever so subtle, just on the window, it says male maid girl cafe.
I was gonna say.
Or, like,
I was gonna say.
I don't remember if it said male maid cafe, but it was like the male symbol, which is big on the fucking window. And then I'm like, no, it can't be. And then I start looking back, and they're all flat chested.
And then I was gonna say. When Eric said subtly, I was gonna say, did you notice that tiny bulge?
They all had big throbbing bulges the whole time.
They had massive monster cocks. Like, yeah.
Wait, that's not their arm and a sleeve?
Alright, then I raise you this one. Are Fudas gay?
Yes,
Yeah.
the defining thing is the penis.
Exactly.
Yeah. And, like,
But
fuck it. No, there's this one guy I've talked to online.
but here's another twister.
Oh, no.
Are Fudas gay if
If
I don't even
it's
know what
on
you call
female.
it. If it's fucking a female. Is it gay now?
You just don't focus.
Yes, because they're
You just-
lesbians.
You just don't focus on the Fuda. Plain and simple.
Full focus.
What about cunt boys?
What the fuck is that?
Now we're delving deep.
Cunt boys are just dudes with pussies.
Dudes with vagina.
You know,
Like-
I'd rather not see like a
we like a
JoJo
girl
looking guy.
in vagina.
I'd rather not see a JoJo looking buff guy with a friggin' moose knuckle, you know what I'm saying?
What, you don't want to see you don't want to see Big Barra Daddy's beef curtains?
Oh my god. Why? Why must you say those words?
But that's
Because they must be said.
what I said before stands true. Where the dick is the most defining thing that sets it apart from gay or not. But I feel like cunt boy loops back around because that's just a man with a vagina. Like it looks completely like a man.
I think I'd rather stick with tomboys, you know?
Yeah,
I think tomboys are the superior race
absolutely.
to prevail over any of these Western hoes of today.
How do we... I'm not going to say that.
Say it. Say it.
It's not worth it.
Say it.
Everything's worth it if you try hard enough.
I went to the mall yesterday.
Oh no.
Dear God.
For the first time in a little while, because my mom was like, yeah, she said that. She burped in my face, woke me up, slapped me around a little bit, and then
Again.
she said,
This sounds
Eric,
like an episode of Rick and Morty.
Eric, my young boy, my young growing man, the mall is open. And then she spat upon my brow, and then she said, let's go to the mall. And I was like, fuck yes, mummy. If I do not get some fresh drip, I will commit swagicide.
Proceeds to go to the back section of Spencer's.
That's another funny thing. I don't think people like me should be allowed to shop anymore because I got no joy out of it. All I got was like maybe 2 shirts from American Eagle.
Oh, good taste.
I like American Eagle.
Good taste.
But it's at the same level of I don't really like going to malls anymore because if I know what I'm looking for, I can just get it online.
Exactly.
But
where else am I going to get a Nazi flag?
I mean, I got one I can lend you.
But I got to the mall and my mom was like, "You gonna go look at Spencer's?" Because it's been a long time since I've been to the mall, and sometimes I'll go into Spencer's, but I've progressed past that. And I told her this: I don't like Hunter x Hunter. I don't like My Hero Academia. I don't like Dragon Ball Z. I don't like Naruto. I don't need to go into Spencer's.
You're forgetting one key component. I don't like penis.
Why is there so much penises in that shop?
Because it's offensive.
It's vulgar. It's offensive. We need to be bombastic to get ahead in these times.
I just remember going into a Spencer's and like person walks up to me like, "Hey, welcome to Spencer's, home of everything offensive." And I look over at the fucking Rick and Morty wall and I'm like, yeah.
The Rick and Morty wall.
Yeah.
But aside from going to Spencer's, I went to the Warhammer store and then
Good taste.
they had it set up where like
The Warhammer.
I would have to like ask for what I wanted to see from the 2 kind of annoying people that work there. And I just walked away after that. But I went to one of the like other kind of fashion-ish stores, yet like has like mainly hype beast and vulgar stuff there too. And because I go there because I like Sax underwear. Sax underwear is the fucking best.
Sax underwear?
It's just like boxers that have a separate pouch for your dick, nut, and balls.
Bro, join the boxer shorts master race and you will never have to wear pants in your own home.
I already don't. I don't
already-
get what you're talking about.
I don't wear pants or underwear in my own home. I just wear a sweater
I have
that drapes
roommates,
down
alright?
to my ankles.
I have roommates. I have to keep some amount of formality. And
Here's
it wouldn't
the
be
problem.
nice if I was wearing some tight friggin' triangle underwear shit. That literally when you get a wedgie, it literally looks like a friggin' G-string or whatever.
That's one fucking wedgie you got there.
But I'm well versed in the ways of Sax underwear because I have gotten it to the point that I have enough pairs of underwear from that brand to last me an entire week and a half without having to go back to my old pairs of boxers at all. So I went to go and get more because I need more.
Naturally.
Very good.
And one of the ladies that works there comes up to me and she says, "Do you need a hand? You know, like how Sax work and everything?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I'm quite well versed in the Sax universe, thank you." And then she says, "Oh yeah, they're great, aren't they?"
I see where you're going with this.
I just kind of nod and she walks away, but I was maybe just a hair trigger away from you know that one scene in Pulp Fiction when
Tarantino?
Yeah, when Tarantino's like, he's explaining, "Yeah, I know it's good coffee because I made it. It's my coffee." I was about to be like, "I know they're good because I have a dick, nut, penis, and also balls. I have a pair." Do
You know,
Do you?
you know, I would have been,
Don't
I
ask
would have
questions
been
I know the
rattled
answer to.
if a freaking lady said, "Yeah, it's nice and it has nice firm support." I'd be someone that looks like a freaking lady. It just said that, I'd be yeah,
Yeah.
and then proceed to calmly
That's
yet firmly walk away from the store as
Look,
fast as
I'm just
possible.
saying, don't judge her just because she puts the curtains in beef curtains.
Jesus Christ.
that's one thing that I never really got though, like that need to be like uber nice to people, and if you have to go up and ask them if they need a hand, or like you have to talk to them and ask them questions. I was never like that when I was doing customer service.
It's over there, you dumb.
You nincompoop.
You damn shank! You can't open your eyes more than five centimeters.
He's
You know?
allowed to say that he's Asian.
Yeah, I always love it when you come on here and bash Asian people.
Bro,
Because I don't have to censor
absolutely-
anything.
I absolutely. Okay. Let's see. To prove that I am Asian, I'll say a sentence in Korean. 나는 중국인들 존나 싫어해. Which translates into, I fucking hate Chinese people. So now that we got that proof out of the way, I can bash them even more.
Just with recent events and everything that's going on, most of the world does.
I was afraid that I was going to have to like cut an entire chunk of the podcast out last week because I was wholeheartedly so ready for you to come on and just start bashing the shit out of China for the virus.
I've already done that with so many people. Like 2 nights ago, now I was just with my 1488 gang bashing the 1352 gang, as well as the Jewish people of the East, also known as Chinese, as well as the long nose tribe and the little hat tribe.
Minicap.
And we were statistically wondering about if the 6 Gorillion was actually correct.
Well, personally, I think that's a lot of gorillas.
Thank you, Bill Clinton.
That's one
I'll
thing.
see you soon.
That's a stupid thing that me and Mitch were talking about like the entire time we were on Cuba. Like we saw one dude at an airport with a yarmulke on, and then I just looked over to Mitch and I said, "That guy's got a 10-foot yarmulke." And then he just kept saying it the entire trip, and I did too. We were just walking around, it's like, yeah, that's a 10-foot yarmulke.
Jesus Christ. Oy vey, I mean. Oh no, they show up.
Oy vey, I mean.
Oy vey, I mean veyoy. I mean aloe vera.
I agree. Aloe vera is great.
Let's all get matching furry tattoos.
Only if it's the Lombax.
Yeah, on my corpse. On my corpse, you can do that all you want. You can desecrate it all you want.
We'll bring your
But,
corpse to a furry convention.
I'll
I'll make sure that someone cremates me first, and then you can desecrate it all you want.
How about this? When you die, I'll inherit your body, and I'll give you all sorts of crazy Yakuza tattoos. And
You
then
know-
I'll make you into a skin suit, which I will wear to look tough.
You know, now I really like the idea of burial like Lincoln and Tito, where I get buried under 10 foot of concrete so no one can tamper with my body.
I wouldn't say no one. I'm sure somebody out there has a jackhammer in time. What are they gonna do if they keep having more and more people come over with jackhammers? Somebody will get through.
I'm just gonna secretly order some
All right.
IEDs and landmines.
Gamers of the world, let's all hot glue Lincoln's bones.
Dibs on the funny bone.
And
Bruh.
gamers of the world, let's go put anime figures on a Japanese emperor's body and hot glue them all to show what his country has become.
When I die, I want someone to take my funny bone and use it to inherit the power of my funny.
You are very funny, Kyle.
Just make shitty puns for the rest of your life.
That sounds like a curse.
Fuck
you, Kyle.
Oh man, I don't plan on dying. I'm
I
immortal.
don't plan on.
I don't plan on dying. Gets hit
Don't
by
you
a
know?
truck.
Legends never die. Look at Hitler. He's been dead for 80 years, but his legacy still lives on in the Shoah. Oy vey.
We
Hey.
started playing not Dark Souls, Bloodborne today.
Yeah.
And
Darkborn.
this is, I'm just gonna
George Floyd.
stop. Just,
It's not Darkborn. That's Dark Ended.
Oh my god.
That
You're
reminds
gonna
me
need
of-
another cookie there,
on-
bud.
That reminds me on the topic of Dark Souls when we were talking, because this calls back to that one thing we asked like 2 episodes ago of like, have you ever said something and it came out really bad but you didn't intend it like that? We were playing Dark Souls and I fucking, I had get summoned into fucking Tyler's world and we're waiting on Eric. And since we're outside the Abyss Watchers, there was like dark wraiths walking around, but I couldn't remember what they were called. So I say, instead of just waiting around, I say to Tyler, okay, I'm gonna go beat up some dark dudes out there.
I mean, I hate that too because I say I hating all the time.
That's what I said the first time.
It just, I wish it came out better. I mildly do not like
Personally,
the
I just think it rolls off
the
the tongue,
certain
you know?
individuals.
I need, like, my future self to come over and just put me to bed. Pick me up and throw me somewhere. Because I just felt my soul leave my body.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather be the, if I could time travel and none of that paradox shit happened, I will legitimately go back in time, kill myself, and then I'll take over from that, and I'll just be like, yeah, I had a freak growth syndrome, but I'm still, you know, I'm
Freak
still
growth
cute. Don't
syndrome.
worry about it, chieftain. And then I'll actually pave my road to becoming the next Hitler.
I just had a massive growth spurt.
You know what?
Also,
You know
I
what?
really hate
Better
the
yet,
Jews.
better yet. I'm gonna go back in time, kill Hitler, and then I'll take his place. So
Like, run it behind the curtains. It's like, oh, the Fuhrer doesn't want to come out today, and it's just you, like, ordering people around. It's like, yeah, he really likes wearing
No.
a porcelain mask
actually,
now.
no, absolutely not. I'm gonna
Just become the Fuhrer.
I'm gonna get those Korean facial reconstruction surgeries and make myself look white. Go kill Hitler.
Wouldn't that be a German one then?
And then get myself the nice mustache that Uncle Adolf has, and then not invade Russia. And make sure they invade us first. That way we can demonize them and we won't get the Oive Goyim. I'll blame all the concentration camps on them.
Fucking
Suckers.
Flawless.
I feel like everything would have been better if they just gave Hitler a dope-ass vlog show.
Bro, imagine
What
if
if
you had a
Hitler was the
TV
next
show.
Ellen DeGeneres?
That would be so fucking funny.
I want him,
Welcome to the Adolf Show.
I want him to be a TV show TV show host. How funny would that be, dude?
I think it would be hilarious if, because everything's so about, like, PC with cancel culture as well. I think it would be hilarious if there was just a comedian or a TV show host out there that was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do something ridiculous. And he just...
Samuel Al-Hajid, also known as Sam Hyde, also known as the Notre Dame bomber, also known as the Islamic
Columbine
State.
shooters, both of them.
Both of them.
Also known as El Diablo.
Also known as the real Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin
Also known
Laden.
as the real Jeffrey Epstein.
he's just living proof that you can't get canceled unless you cancel yourself, because he's still going, he's still making stuff, and like he's been like he's had so many like atrocities pinned on him, and he doesn't even give it a second thought.
He
Like,
fucking
to the
profits
point-
off of it.
It's made it onto the news that people have said it's Sam Hyde that did something.
They say every time there's a school shooting or a tragedy, people send very blurred pictures of Sam Hyde to the news, and they take the bait. It's so fucking hilarious.
That's like a really stupid thing that I fucking hate about the news. I think I talked about this on the podcast, but like back when Kobe died, there were like so many news stations that were putting out like, Kobe is alive, but everybody else in the helicopter is dead. His entire family was on the helicopter. It was only the helicopter pilot that survived. And like a bunch of just mixed variants of that from like a bunch of places that were like trying to rush out the news so that they could get higher ratings for themselves, because that's how it works. Whoever reports it first gets all the credit, kind of thing. So I hate that. I hate that level of predatory shit when it comes to the news. Your job is to tell the news.
You know, the news used to be a statistical, objective, pretty much a data sheet saying what's going on and what happened.
Exactly.
That's why
And
it
now
was
it
called
just
the
skewed
news.
it. So it's I'm gonna go back to this, but oy vey, 6 girls.
6 Gorillion news sites.
600,000. How can we twist this? Add another 0. How about another?
60 million. But like, what if I had control of the world? I would have it be there's only one news site.
I disagree with that.
One news site, and then different variations of like one per town. Because yes, you have one news site for telling the world news, and then
It's too easy to abuse. That's happened in Nazi Germany, Soviet Union. They have, what was it? Well, even the states, right? Right now, Fox and CNN. Technically, they're the only 2 news, and they're only for Democrats or Republicans, right? And they always skew the shit. They're always attacking each other.
and that's why I would have it be their only one. Because you should, if a politician does something shitty, even the news site that is backing them should
that
report
vodka?
it.
Vodka. Anyways, continue.
It shouldn't be like this side favors this side more. It should be like, that's the thing. The news should just be the news. They should report everything, like everything to an extent, and not have their own twist on it or not try and skew it. That's why I would only want there to be one, and like different variations of it for every single like city, because citywide news is important. Because if we just look at the world news, we know nothing of our area. So like city-wise news would be important, or like province-wise.
Well, I'm just saying that if you, I read history, and usually if you look at totalitarian states or very lobby-based governments, it usually ends up, like, it's a pure idea, like what you said, but it doesn't turn out that way. That's what I'm saying. No matter what you do, we're still humans in the end. We all want to push our own agendas. We all want to be greedy. We all want to get our own supporters. We all want power. No matter how benevolent you are, like, there's been very few cases of pure benevolence. We all want something, right? And this is getting into like philosophy, but
Well, it ties in too.
it just doesn't work, because like then you have one news source, nothing else. And I'll quote the Soviet Union here. They had one news called the Pravda until they were able to liberalize more. And funny enough, that news, Pravda, means truth in Russian.
Oh,
but-
so they stopped telling that.
Yeah, they practically stopped telling that. Whenever there was an accident, they'd blame it on spies, or whenever there was let's say a plane crashed and a lot of people died, they blame it on someone else. They blame it on
Like
sabotage.
the Jews.
And I guess
So it's just, and then another thing is when something international happens, because people want to stay in tune with international stuff, especially at that time, the Cold War. They're extremely biased towards the state because it is a state-run media organization, right? So let's say the Cuban Missile Crisis, for example. Well, then they're all gonna say, "Oh,
no, we're the right side.
we're the right side. The Americans are unlawfully blockading Cuba to starve them to death. And we are the saviors by trying to provide arms and defense towards that country so that it can stay sovereign as a socialist state." That's what they probably say. Or they probably did say that. And then, CNN or Fox News would be saying, "Oh, these Cuban people are being oppressed by Fidel Castro, the dictator. They need to be freed and given democracy so that they can find their own path." And then they'll blast the Soviets saying they're trying to put nukes there so that they can instigate a third world war, right? It's the usual. It turns out that way for the history of mankind. Doesn't matter if you go all the way back to Rome, because they'll have someone like that telling the news, running around. The marathon from Greece. People were running around to give out the news, saying what's happening, what's going to happen, or like literally the news.
Yeah.
And usually, if there's one source, and that is state-sponsored, and that's the only credible quote-unquote thing you can get, it's usually twisted in some way or another. Like, they might be giving you the 10% of the truth, they might be giving you 50%. Not always. Never.
And
So
that's just the thing where all of this, yes, it works perfectly in theory, but like
just like
my idea, yeah, exactly, like communism, but my idea would only work in a perfect world, because as soon as you have people trying to step over each other, that's when, that exactly what you say, greed and the need
struggle.
for power,
Yeah.
that's when that kind of thing takes hold. And that's why communism always has failed, because of course, like, oh yes, we're all going to make the same amount, but it's like, but I'm a doctor, and that guy that stocks shelves and puts bread on places, he's making the same as me.
I'll give you this story that I've personally encountered. I have a fair bit of communist or very left-leaning people that I know.
I see
one of
you
them
too
was
like to hang around high schools.
I'll get into that real quick.
I'm not allowed
get
within
into that.
50 feet of high schools.
I have a 300-meter restraining order.
Oh yeah? I'm wanted by the state. I shouldn't be doing this.
Oh yeah? I
I'm
directly
legally
served
dead.
under Jeffrey Epstein.
I know things that could lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton.
Bruh, I was the Watergate scandal.
Okay, turn it around.
Okay, yes, I know
Rats.
you're very based and all that, but please face the wall and be quiet.
But anyways, my favorite story I like to tell is, it's usually seen on memes, but it's actually happened to me. Left-leaning people, they work in Canada or they work in anywhere else in the friggin' world, and they start leaning a lot more towards the center or the right the moment they get their first paycheck. That's the most hilarious moment, because they see how much taxes chunk off their friggin' work. And they're like, why?
The government wasn't there to work that 40 hours with me.
Exactly.
It's my money and I need it now.
So, and then you get people like, people that worked in, real people that worked in food industries, like McDonald's or, whatever. The majority I've met, actually all of the ones that I've met so far, never agreed that they should be paid $20 or $15 an hour for working there. $15 in the States case, and $20 in the Canada case. That's because they're like, these readers don't deserve to get paid that much an hour. When they work there, clearly they're not working there anymore because they're off doing something better, getting educated, doing something else, right?
Whoa.
But like, they all admitted that it was a rare thing to pay them, and this, the minimum wage raise that Trudeau did clearly is another example.
That's
of it.
the thing. That's what pisses me off about raising the minimum wage thing, because was I the only one that noticed that everything else got more expensive after they did that? Because
overnight, Tim Hortons bagels went from 99 cents to $1.29 at the cheapest.
And that's the thing. They just increased the price of everything else. The entire country did that. And as well, for that brief period that they did that, all the mama and papa places, they went out of business because a lot of things hadn't had the chance to shift yet.
Now,
or they didn't have the money already to adapt, so they couldn't afford all the increased prices on food, and they couldn't pay their employees. And the thing is, doing that's essentially the same thing as having an open wound and then putting a band-aid on it while it's still bleeding. It does nothing.
I'll get right now, I guess we're having a pretty serious discussion.
Yeah, we gotta go to funny fart poop haha after this.
I'll try to keep it short, but I don't study economics at all by any stretch of the imagination. I would love to, but I look at trends. Okay, do you guys remember $5 footlongs?
Yes.
I sure
Best
do.
fucking deal ever in the history of this planet, as well as Little Caesars $5 for pizza, though, an entire pizza. I don't know if this was a thing in Canada, but it was a thing in the States.
If it was the thing in the States, it was probably a thing in Canada.
Yeah, it was $5 for a whole pan of pizza. But I've noticed that whenever they raise minimum wage, because they raise minimum wage for the company, and we are in a capitalist state, no matter what people say, no matter how socialistic it may be, companies exist. Companies are there to make money. Minimum wage raise happens. Companies lose money. What do? They keep a couple people. Let's say this company had 10 people working minimum wage and one manager and one CEO. Well, they're going to lay off probably 3 or 4 of them because of the minimum wage raise. And it's going to be like that for another couple months until they can make some money back or gain more profits, and then maybe they'll hire one worker back. TLDR is, whenever you raise minimum wage, people lose jobs. A lot of people lose jobs because companies are going to try to be cheap. There is absolutely, in my opinion, no point of raising minimum wage. They should keep minimum wage as a basic necessity for life, and then it's up to you to work your way up.
That's the thing too. You shouldn't want to stay at minimum wage your whole life.
Exactly.
Unless you are a wholehearted minimalist, you are fine with living in the same apartment your whole life with just having the basics at hand and maybe sometimes saving up for something you like.
Hey,
well, and
it's
most of the people,
but
it's certainly respectable, but I don't know if I could do that myself.
I feel most people can't, because I feel some of the people who think they can and who are like, oh yeah, I'm perfectly fine being.
They already have the access to stuff like that all the time, and then
even.
they move out.
Well, they realize or they don't realize more that they want all this other stuff and they suddenly can't support their habits.
Unless you are a person named Diogenes living in 300 BC, who practically has the least amount of greed I have ever read on anyone on this planet. People have dreams. People have greed, no matter what. And I hate to get biblical, because I'm not. I am not a freaking religious person at all. But one thing I will admit, the 7 sins is very true. And people have their own desires, whether it be lust, greed, gluttony, right? And if you're living at minimum wage your entire life and you're satisfied with it, you're probably not a person. You're probably some lizard, drone, whatchamacallit.
There has to be some kind of ambition out there, because if you have no desire to push yourself towards
I'm not a car
anything
guy,
at all,
but I would like to have a nice car in the future. I'm not a house guy, but I'd rather have a decent house in the future. And it's things like that where when you keep raising minimum wage and making unnecessary inflation, well, one, you're never going to get 25-cent pop anymore. You're never going to get You're never gonna get gas for under $1 anymore. You're never gonna get pretty much anything for cheaper anymore, and the cost keeps going up. And then next thing you know, minimum wage is $100 an hour. But what can you buy with $100?
And it's only been going up ever since they like created currency for that same reason of inflation, because you remember like your parents always telling you like this candy used to be 25 cents back in the day, now it's $1.50, and it's like, well, yeah, that makes sense because they keep raising minimum wage, they keep lowering the value of the dollar.
It's a good thing if it's done slowly over time and the country can do it. Very few examples come to mind. My parents, I'm from South Korea. We've been living in a perpetual hell until the 80s because, well, actually the 90s, because lots of dictators, lots of wars, Japanese colonization, yada yada yada. Don't blame them. Our country's fault for being weak. But we did it right, where we we slowly raised the currency.
Pouring a drink for me.
We slowly raised the worth of our country, and now our quote unquote $1 is pretty much equal to almost a US dollar. Back then, quick maths.
Quick math.
$1 in Korea is 1,000 wons. And back when my parents were in their 20s and partying and, drinking and all that stuff, their bills would come out to maybe $1 in US dollar terms. Nowadays, you'd be lucky to find a decent sized meal for about $20 worth, right? Mm-hmm. And that's because we did it over time. Our country itself got richer, our economy's great. We make a lot of decent electronics and decent cars and everything, whatnot. But you have to do it subtly, decades after decades, because once you suddenly raise your value, guess what? You hit inflation and everything's worth a lot more aggressively. People can't afford that. I'm actually wondering how many people got fucked over because of this minimum wage increase in Canada alone. Could you imagine how many, no matter what you say, poor people are going to be the majority in any part of the world. You're not all going to live like kings and queens. Mm-hmm. Being a middle-class family is another rarity. But, it's just how many of the poor single moms and dads got fucked over because of this scenario, right?
Probably too many, because
they're already juggling 3 jobs, right?
Oh, yeah. I remember when I was... when the minimum wage increase happened, I was somebody that was making minimum wage. I was working at a grocery store. And me and my coworkers were just kind of standing around shooting the shit because we didn't have anything to do. And then our manager came over and he started screaming at us because he had something to vent. And he said, "Do you guys know that you're going to be making the same amount within $1, the same amount as me tomorrow? Get the fuck to work." And yeah, kind of an asshole, maybe a little too much, but I understand it. Because
I'd be enraged.
Yeah, and most of these people that were making that amount of money, they aren't going to get raises after.
No.
Because you're still making more than them, you're still superior to them, but they've also been there for 20 years more. So it's some dumb shit. Okay, that's enough. We're not talking economics anymore. We're too high for this shit. Kyle, what's your opinion on fart porn?
All right.
I demand a
180.
I demand a 3-part essay. What's your thesis?
My thesis is that despite having no interest, nay, dare I say, despite actively not liking it, I see way too much of it. Why is it that
sometimes I'll just have a rotten day and I need something to make it worse. I'll load up the tube and I'll look at fart porn.
Do not look it up on purpose. I'm looking at anything else and it's like, hey, look, brap brap.
Hey, look, brat.
I see that.
Well-
I see like fat slob fetish, and I'm like, what the fuck? Usually together.
Like King Ass. I'm sorry for that. I introduced Kyle to King Ass Ripper.
I don't even want to know what that is.
He's
Well-
a man, but also a legend.
The man, the myth, the legend.
He has uploaded multiple videos of himself, like just completely naked except for tighty whities and socks. Sometimes socks.
Ooh,
Those are the spicy videos. But
I like Ben
He'll
Shapiro's
just-
sister.
he'll just like show him farting in like different areas of his house. Would be
15 fucking minutes straight.
yeah, farting in my roommate's fridge, or like farting on the glass, or he still lives with his parents at some point, because I don't know who would marry him, but there's a bunch of stockings on a furnace, and this is also the key point as well, is like, fuck you mom, or something in it, and he farts in every single one of their stockings.
Jesus.
And like there has to be something wrong with his insides, because all of his farts last inhumanly long.
They are like bassy.
Drop the bass.
Like one of the videos, like farting against my window, and he presses his ass against the window, and you can hear the reverberation of the glass.
You ever seen that bit from the X-Men movie where Quicksilver puts his hands against the glass and shakes them so fast it shatters? That's basically it.
Yeah, he did that with the glass breaking and everything.
You have to wonder sometimes, how do these people exist and why?
Well,
Like
that's
Christian and...
that's another crazy thing too. A lot of these people probably exist and they just don't have the ability to document it. There's probably like millions of people out there like that, and
Well,
it's just they don't document it.
These show because these things, it's like, you know,
How
My
much
Strange
cringe is
Obsession
out there?
or whatever, right?
I don't want to know.
It's like when there were shows like My Strange Obsession or something, and it showcased these people who were like fucking weirdos.
Pictures of Ben
A
Shapiro's
lot of
sister's
them.
feet.
The thing is, a lot of them too aren't that weird as well. Like, yeah, they got their like, I dress up as a mermaid and I go swimming as a mermaid. Yeah, that's weird.
Good luck drowning.
But that's not putting a rainbow dash in a jar and then filling the jar with cum weird. Like, one of these things you can like casually bring up at a party. The other one you don't tell anyone about, but you still manage to post it.
I mean, I don't post anything of that sort, so I wouldn't know. But
I have a confession to make. I am the My Little Pony cum jar goblin.
oh my god.
I have a confession to make. I am the Tile Man.
Oh man, what's that?
Oh,
Oh, it was a 4chan thing. It was some dude who was like, they were talking about whatever, and he winds up mentioning that that he is sexually attracted to floor tiles. And people were like, what the fuck? That's so weird and that's strange.
That's
I want to know more. And so of course they
that's
like
based.
he says like, yeah, I carry a camera around with me sometimes, and if I see like a really nice pattern of floor tiles, I'll take a picture and save it for later.
I'm gonna go to the
And-
bathroom. I gotta look at floor tiles for a bit.
Okay.
And not on 'em.
And he winds up like sharing his folder or whatever, because he has a folder and it's like dirty tiles and like nice patterns or saucy, and they're just it's all floor tiles and shit. And people, they went nuts over him, and he's like, I don't know why I told you people this. I'm disappearing forever. And then and everyone was like, no, don't go, Tile Man. We love you. He eventually came back.
I mean, I'm sure it's not to that extent, but like what I used to do was
photograph tiles and jerk off to them.
oh no, definitely not that. But I did used to collect interesting World War II pictures, and I still have. I have over 11,000 photos on my phone, and I'm guaranteeing there's at least 7,000 of those.
I mean,
And those are like the weird ones that you never see. And I'm just like, huh, that's cool. I'll save that. But it's not like jerk off material or anything. But
my mom has been collecting fonts for years. Like
nothing wrong with that. I do
computer
like
fonts.
I do like a nice computer font. Whenever I do my school projects, I deliberately do it in Comic Sans.
Obviously,
And
yeah.
then whenever I do any
Oh god, it's the ape. It's George Floyd.
that didn't come out of my mouth for once. That didn't come out of my mouth for once.
Or Tyler's mouth. He's compensating for Tyler not being here today. Jesus.
Repent! Now I'm going without breath.
Oh my god. Repent.
You ever have some of those pisses that are better than nuts?
What?
You ever have some of those pisses that are better than nuts?
I had to listen to that again. Yeah, in a movie theater.
I
Sipping.
nutted and then I pissed after.
No. After holding it in for 2 hours and pissing after the movie ends. That is the best piss you will ever have in your entire life. I'm pretty sure.
I say drinking a fair amount and then forgetting that you have a bladder. And then at the end of the night, you're just leaning your head against your cabinet or whatever, pissing mainly on the floor, and it's like, oh, oh.
I mean, I don't have experiences with that, but maybe. Or maybe you're passing a kidney stone.
You think you're better than me?
Yeah, he gets it at least 75% in the bowl.
Actually, you know, I think the most satisfying piss ever recorded in mankind history would probably be passing a kidney stone. Without a shadow of a doubt or anything like that. It's like...
I don't know if that would be satisfying. I'm pretty sure it would be
Pain.
horrible.
And then pleasure.
Okay.
I don't think that's part of it.
I don't think there's pleasure. I think there's euphoria, where it's like you get a little bit of like happiness, not joy or pleasure, but like happiness that at least it's past.
Reaching the state where you are no longer in pain is not exactly happiness. It's returning to the status quo with a little bit of, oh, goody me.
You know, it'd be pretty funny if you had a kidney stone and you were...
And then you sold it online. Hey, William Shatner, you don't have a space here.
No,
Safe
I was going to
space.
say, what if you're passing a kidney stone and you were fucking a girl and it's a cum shot mode and it cum
What, you
shots
just
and
fucking
it
kidney
shoots out like
swap?
a bullet right at her forehead.
And you know that one crystal alien from Ben 10?
I think so. I haven't
That's
seen
how
that
they
yet.
get born.
Huh.
That's how crystal people get born. They're kidney stone children.
So, okay, Ben 10,
Why
hottest
are you-
alien.
Why are you guys so enamored by this? The blue one.
I think there are multiple blue ones.
The blue one with the skinny legs.
The wheel one?
Probably.
Yeah, okay, agreed.
I don't remember.
Ben's sister.
Ben Shapiro.
Yep.
Gwen Shapiro.
Was her name Gwen? What the
Yeah.
fuck was his sister name?
That was his cousin, I think.
Gwen Tennyson.
Gwen Shapiro.
Or no, I think his sister was named Gwen. What the fuck was
I don't know if it's a sister, brother, or
It's
It's his brother!
it's his brother.
it's 2020.
What is Ben 10's sister's name? Tell me, Google! Gwen Tennyson!
Is she actually his
Shapiro.
sister?
Yes.
You know, oh my god. 'Kay.
Yeah, you know all those funny internet pictures of like her pregnant and him holding her belly? Yep.
I didn't need to be reminded about those.
Well, here we are.
You know, you know how we already had the discussion of which cartoon characters you were first ever attracted to?
Well, you
We
know,
have many
people
good
usually have a
talks
list
about
of that, right?
Yeah. Are we gonna get Q's list?
No.
Q's
I was gonna
formal
say,
list.
like, when they did the Ben 10, but kind of like teenage one, like when they're like older.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, that one was like the better one because Gwen Tennyson was actually not a friggin' annoying little bitch.
You aren't even more swayed by the fact that she was a child. Based.
That's based and Gwen pilled.
I'm sorry, I'm so used to watching Clone Wars and War Crimes when I was a child.
Goofy's girlfriend, she held a place.
I thought he had a wife.
No, he's a lumbersexual now.
Oh.
Bro, if you ain't gonna include Frankie, was it? From
Frankie
Frankie
Foster?
Foster.
Yeah.
The redheaded one?
Yeah, if you're not including that, get out of my sight.
Right. Q, listen, man.
Yeah.
I'm not doing my formal list. I'm not doing my documented...
No. You're doing a top 100?
Yeah.
Just
That's my
spitballing
formal
around.
list. It's actually more akin to top 2,000 for all of my waifus.
Okay, but here's the real thing. All right, remember that one Scooby-Doo movie where there were the aliens?
Yeah.
And there was the one girl who was like
The
Shaggy.
alien.
Yeah, she was an alien, but she was like a hippie, and she was Shaggy's lover, and she had her golden retriever, and who was also an alien.
Oh, yeah.
Her, but only when she is an alien.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Q, you should read My Sweet Alien.
That one's too fucking wholesome.
I don't know what the hell that one is.
I have it.
Let
I
me see
really
it.
like it. I'll get it after the podcast because
Okay.
I can't stand
JoJo music, please.
JoJo music in reverse because I can't stand.
Joe
No.
Brown wins.
The door slightly opens.
What the fuck is brown wind?
Because it's initially it's golden wins.
That's not fucking.
I said because it's a fart joke.
That's not.
Do you not understand the fart?
You broke wind.
Jesus. I was gonna make the joke where the door slightly
But that's
opens
not
and a
reversed,
hot dog
Kyle.
comes in.
When did I say anything was being reversed?
It has to. If it's in music form, it has to be reversed. So it would still be Ojo.
You know, I'm
Yes,
glad I
that
don't.
but reversed.
Yep.
I don't know how to do that. How do you say Jojo? Let me suck your cock backwards.
Ojo Ekel.
Ekins.
Ukes. Arr. Cock.
Good.
Cock backwards is cock but stupid.
Spell cock backwards. Hey there, liberal. Spell
Libtard.
cock backwards.
Spell homo backwards.
Homo milk.
I showed Kyle a really funny video of it's just a picture of homo milk, which is an actual milk for you not milk drinkers. You weak-skinned, frail, disgusting, basement-dwelling, disgusting freakazoid. I'm half kidding.
Drink milk, fuckers.
Calcium gang.
Strong bones, weak will to live.
Yeah, the boners.
My bones are strong.
The milkers. The milkies.
It's of a guy like wrestling another guy to the ground and pouring milk in his mouth.
Oh my god.
Big
Fellas.
mama milkers.
Would you drink homo milk for $68 gorillion?
Bro, I would drink it for free.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I watch JoJo.
Homo milk sounds more like cow cum. I will just sip my Red Bull in the corner. Get it? Because it also has cow cum in it.
What?
Red Bull has cow cum in it.
Why?
Does that mean Jaeger has deer cum in it?
Yeah,
It's kind of gross.
kind of based.
Based on deer cum.
Based and deer cummed.
Based and cum pilled.
Deer pilled. Cum pilled.
Compiled.
Oh my
This
god.
is a compartmentalized issue.
Oh.
I wish.
I was an Oscar Mayer wiener.
You wish you were a glizzy.
Fucking glizzy pilled. I also went to Costco today,
Lucky you.
and I really felt like I just needed a fucking battering ram. Because there are some people that just move so goddamn slow in that place.
You know, Costco's in America are faster, right? Because people usually have a gun to their back of their heads when they're shopping. It's like, hey, it's the 300-pound guy in a wheelchair going like, get out of my lane.
The 9
with
mil,
the friggin' with a literal glizzy.
the 9 mil human centipede. I'll shoot you in the back if you don't move, and the guy behind me will shoot me in the back if I don't move.
Can we have a petition to change Costco hot dogs to Costco glizzies?
Costco
Cog
glizzy.
dogs.
I sent a snap out like that today because I went up to the food court and I was like, ha, a glizzy at the picture of the hot dog. I sent that out to some people.
I think I
rarely
got it. I just didn't look at it yet.
I rarely snap, but when I do,
rarely
it's the
snap.
But
stupid
when I
shit.
do, crackle pop.
But when I do, you best believe it's a picture of my penis. What up, ladies? I'm the big 3-incher.
I'm the big glizzy.
The big glizzy. Big
Hey.
glizzy little bun.
Hey, 3 inches is pretty big in some countries, like in dwarven lands. And
What up? I'm here to fuck bitches in the Shire. Why was that one chick in Lord of the Rings taller than all of the other hobbits and Sam was going after her?
Amazonian hobbit.
Thank you, Kyle.
he likes that. He likes that moose knuckle, you know.
I wasn't asking why he liked it. By all means, I like taller women too, as well as shorter women. I like all women. But still, why was she in the Shire? And why was she tall?
I hate women. They're coarse and rough, and they get everywhere when I kill them with the cleaver.
Look, she was in the Shire because she was a hobbit. She was tall because she wasn't a very good one.
Oh my god!
That's why she should have been in the kitchen instead.
Don't mind me. We're just this. Don't mind us. We've recently converted to Islam, so we can say these things.
Ushaladeen.
Hi, I'm not religious at all.
Hi. I support Ted Cruz by bombing Iranian oil fields.
Hey, want to see my best Prophet Muhammad impression?
Bro, you want to see my Muhammad action figure?
Okay, only if I can hot glue it.
It comes with a cleaver and a woman's head in his hand.
I love action figures. I
buy them and I pose them and then I never look at them ever again.
Hey, look over there. They aren't action figures, but they're figures. Those ones don't move, and that's how I like them.
It's easy to hot glue like that.
Yeah, exactly. They can't fight back.
Oh my god. Oh.
Neato, cuz.
She, cuz.
we're going to, I'll curb that right there.
I'm gonna curb stomp someone real quick.
Stomp.
You know, I in my class last week, I actually said I hate knit out loud, but I ended it with coteen, so it was okay. And once it was in front of a professor too, but he didn't pay any attention. It was great. There was a distinct pause between knit and coteen.
That's one thing. You can tell how fucking exposed to the internet someone is just by saying that around them. And if they look at you with wide eyes and start like chuckling or like giving you a dirty look, that's how you know.
Yeah.
If they don't pay any attention to it, or they're like, "Oh, you're so right. I hate nicotine as well." Yeah, they know nothing.
That's the type of audience you try to strive for, to black pill them, to nit pill them, nicotine pill them.
To hit them with that great poo.
Bro, what's your nicotine range? Oh, it's 1352 1488. Where do you buy it? Oh, at the local slavery.
The local slavery.
I have to go.
The local auction. I mean.
Have you seen that one video where a guy was like defending the Confederacy from like somebody else saying like it was wrong, they owned slaves, and it's like my great grandparents didn't own slaves. Do you know how much slaves cost? And then it starts playing Buttercup.
What?
And it goes in slow motion and zooms in on his face as he's like, oh, oh.
What was it? Back then, a slave usually costed $150. It's cheap in today's terms.
But because of inflation.
If you count that as today's money, it's probably like $15,000 for one. So who wants to crowdfund $15,000?
And a time machine.
No.
No.
They don't even need one.
We can innovate.
Bro, that $15,000, it's for $3,000 for our plane tickets to Africa.
Gentlemen. Okay, let's talk. What do we all like? Let's all talk feet porn.
It was farting out its feet.
Yeah, we're going by F.
Well, you know what? I prefer feet to fart.
I don't
So
want
I guess
either.
slap that on the box.
I don't
Preferred
want either.
to fart.
Do. What did Kyle just say on today's episode of MDcast? Ooh, switches to other camera, grabs microphone.
I think
He's-
Coolsville sucks.
I think fart porn sucks. Actually, it blows.
Gets really handy sometimes.
I tend to agree, correspondent. It sounds like a lot of hot air to me. But,
But
Oh, man.
get it? But, because... Because fart and glizzy and feet porn? Kyle, what did Kyle say? Today's takedown episode on BuzzFeed, Kyle likes feet porn? And then on the more degenerate sites, Kyle doesn't like fart porn?
Find out now today on MDcast, episode 2030.
It's 30. 2030.
yeah, 2030. Wow.
That's
Come
how
a long way.
old I will be in 2030. Just kidding. I'll be 31.
31.
I will be.
I haven't made a single 21 joke yet, and I'm 21. What the hell is wrong
Starting
with
to
me?
find my way.
I will be 141 in 2030.
I'll be at
On April
least
20th.
20 in 2030.
Crazy how it's gonna be the year 3050 years.
Crazy frog.
Uh,
Bing, bing.
You got a gun?
I spent the last 30 seconds reaching for a gun. No, I have something important for all the listeners to hear. Live studio audience.
That is all.
All right. Which instrument would make the best girlfriend?
Instrument?
Yeah.
A bass so I can slap it.
Not a piano.
Babe, are you a guitar? Because I want to pluck your G string.
Oh my god.
Okay, but seriously.
Instrument. I've never thought about that before.
Would a cello just be like a very thick lady?
I was gonna say a piano would be like a BBW. It might be able to sing really well, like an opera.
That's
But, like,
exactly.
Shit, I don't know. I haven't really played too many instruments.
What
I
about
would
a
probably
hurdy-gurdy?
say.
A French horn wouldn't shave its armpits.
And
I was
wants
gonna
your
say a
fucking hand
violin.
up his ass.
Jesus. I'd say violin or viola.
You see, I was thinking violin, because violins are nice.
Are you
It's
guys really
elegant.
turning women into objects?
They already were.
Didn't we already say me and Kyle already converted to Islam?
Yeah, see, we've already made it this far. We're just committing to it.
Okay.
I'd say violin or viola because it's elegant and it's not too cumbersome.
Well, you see, that's where the problem lies. That's a little too high class for me.
and it's
like
lower
the-
maintenance. You just keep it in a case locked up forever.
I'd say trumpet.
I
Because
was
I
thinking
like
that.
trumpets.
But it may honk at you.
It's gonna do you.
All of them fucking will. Except for drums.
And you have to blow the piss
They
out
just
of it all the
beat
time. You have to
Blow
blow
the-
the piss
What
out.
about like what about keyboard? Like they're kind of
What about keyboard?
on the general topic because they're thinner, but they're smaller, they're more compact, but they're also energetic and fun.
Kyle likes lollies.
Hello, Mr. Epstein?
The Lolly Express will be on its way.
Finally, we've made it! The Golden City!
It's Treasure Planet.
Oh my god.
That's enough. We do not condone anything bad towards children on this planet, except for bricks when they're being too loud.
Except for brass knuckles when they're being annoying.
Except for the boot when they come near me.
How could I be a pedophile? I hate children.
That's a very good one. I hate children too.
How can I little kids, if every kid that comes near me gets gibbed? I don't know.
Let's stop talking about this.
I mean, we're probably already being watched, but you know.
Everybody's being fucking watched. It's the
Yeah, I'm being watched by you two assholes.
It's the government.
Government.
Gub. It's the big gub. It's the big gib.
Would, if
Gibby.
Dish had a government, would they call
Gibby
it
is watching you.
the glubberment?
They'd call it Uncle Gobsy.
They call it a gobby, eh?
If you ever go be your knob.
When the American asks what's flying around in the sky, drown in it! Get it? Because it's a drone.
Jesus Christ. Alright, here's my topic. Older women, younger women, or same age women?
Same age.
Same age?
Older women will give you more experience. Same age, you can kind of like... Same age and younger can be kind of the same thing. It's just...
They last longer.
I didn't want to...
You say that, but how many people younger than us are just depressed? I don't think they'll last much longer. Especially not around me.
What about when we were younger? We were fucking depressed too. Everybody here was depressed, more
Yeah, but we
depressed
were
when they
shit
were younger.
goblins,
and
too.
we're still depressed, but
My point is, you're like investing in something in like a very rough game.
Real talk.
Do Kyle buys his wives.
Yes, all 3 of them. I told you I've converted to Islam.
He's traded the 3 for 2 sheeps because the sheeps are worth more. At least they turn out a profit instead of a deficit.
And at least they keep me warm.
At least they feed you too.
The fuck was the topic?
Younger or older or same age?
Well, typically how it is, normally younger women will match up better with like slightly older men because like women mature quicker than men do.
Not anymore.
I'm just going off of what has been predetermined from the older generations because we don't know what it's like now.
Eric believes in predestination.
Fate. Eric believes in religion and believes that it's kind of bullshit.
Eric is an amphibiophile.
Eric is a defibrillator.
Bing, bing.
What the fuck is a defibriophile?
Amphibiophile? Have you never seen that video where it's like my uncle is in jail because he was called a pedophile, but no, he's not. He's an amphibiophile, and then he just goes into angrily goes into the definition of an amphibiophile, and it's like age group of like 16 to 18 or whatever. I don't even know what it is. You never seen that video?
No,
It's a classic.
Isn't 16 still illegal?
I don't fucking know. I just thought it was fucking...
Q.
Hey.
Both of you don't know the age of consent or believe in it.
Well, we're Islamic. What can we say? Kyle, we're moving to Pakistan. The age of consent there is 0.
The age of consent is
Actually,
no.
why doesn't Jeffrey Epstein go to Pakistan then?
Age of consent, if there's grass on the field, who knows? It could be cut at some point.
Oh my god. I'm a strong believer in older women because they probably, if they don't have kids, and if they don't have a kid, especially if they don't have a kid named Tyrone.
The way that I would do it is, I would not dip or sway higher than 4 years, personally. Because I could go either way. I don't really have much preference as long as they're chill, understanding, and, you know, the perfect ideal fucking thing that everybody wants, but...
I wouldn't mind dipping 4 years under as long as I'm in my mid-20s.
Certainly. That's a big thing, too.
As long as I'm in my mid-20s or mid-30s. And I wouldn't mind going up 10 years. Because I would want someone to be mature enough to have a plan for at least 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for, and clearly Western women aren't it, because they only look at sleeping over for a night.
It all comes with maturity as well. This is getting too heavy-handed again for the podcast. Kyle,
it's fine, we like to roast women.
Kyle, what's a topic? Kyle, say something obscene. You're filling in for Tyler.
Big bum poopy shitty.
Do. Kyle actually likes fart porn now?
We built
likes
this
shark
shitty
porn.
on rock and roll.
Kyle likes 2 girls, 1 cup.
2 girls, 1 brat.
2 girls got coronavirus from sharing a cup at a party. Don't believe us? Look up 2 girls, 1 cup. Like this picture of a hamster? Want to see more? Go to xhamster.com. This shape is actually the same size as this shape. Don't believe us? Put your thumb in your ass.
You like these types of hubcaps on cars? Go to pornhub.com.
Hubba hubba, double bubble.
Hubba bubba. I
Alright.
remember there was this one blonde chick in a fucking Jolly. What the fuck is that? Juicy fruit. Juicy Fruit commercial. There was
It's
a blonde.
gonna move ya.
Yeah, that exact same one where she's like dancing in a yellow lifeboat and she's like, Juicy Fruit, the taste is gonna move ya. I like her.
Never seen it.
She's my future ex-wife.
Can't relate. You said she's blonde.
Yeah.
No, I hate blonde people too, especially me, but
I mean, you don't have enough hair to be classified.
gotta stop having those mental breakdowns. I gotta stop ripping it out of my head.
Naturally.
You gotta stop ripping it out in one certain spot because you're looking like Mr. George Washington over there.
I mean, look, if you want me to stop breaking into your basement and shaving your head while you sleep, let me know.
Please! I'm tired of having to browse R9K.
I didn't know you could shave a robot.
You come in one night to shave, Tyler comes in one night to nut on his head.
Polish his fresh nose.
Nut on it and polish it.
Please stop shaving. Tyler doesn't have to stop doing the other thing.
Tyler just wants you to stay moisturized.
Yeah, how's progress on putting him back together going?
I mean, it's going slow because, don't want to...
There's a lot of them!
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Well,
Reassembling Tyler, because he's, we got to do that after he dies.
He kind of got hit by a semi-truck after we said, haha, Tyler, bet you won't jump off the bridge. And then he did. And then we were like, well, I guess we're out $20, but we never shook on it.
You can't fix the brain damage, though.
Can't fix everything.
He's been circumcised 40 times. I don't know why. It keeps growing back.
Well, that's just the skin graft,
He gets his circumcised skin put on his taint. Just attaches, sews it on down there.
I remember I read one manga called Love in Hell, and it was about a guy going to hell and then falling in love with a demon, where, like, it means a lot to the demon if you're, like, willing to give them, like, part of your skin and, like, or, like, a purse made of it or an outfit made of it. And then the guy was like, well, I really like her, but I'm not too fond of pain, so he just goes and gets circumcised. And then he gives her, like, a small plush toy to play with of it. That was a really fucked up series. It had a really good ending, but if I could go back in time and not read it, I can honestly say I would.
What series is this?
It's called Love in Hell.
No way. It's a circumcision.
And it's
no
like,
way.
It's torture porn most of the time.
No
with,
thank
like, you see maybe a titty twice.
That's a 2-hole titty. That's like one person.
Yeah. But, like, it did have a really good ending, and then they made a spin-off and it sucked.
Well, as they always do.
I bought it anyways because I was like, Love in Hell.
Like, I'm like, when I'm looking at a bunch of manga and shit, and I'm thinking like, oh, maybe I should try a new series. I wonder what might be good. The way I can tell which series not to look into is that it's got like 2 fucking spin-offs right next to it.
Yeah, this is an open attack. I don't like Goblin Slayer anymore.
Ooh, why?
Because I've read
I haven't
far enough
watched it
into it that it is okay. Listen, the first little bit, like maybe the first 4 manga, it's tight. It's tight as fuck. It's good. But then it becomes a harem. That's not what I was reading Goblin Slayer for.
Yeah.
Because the last one that, like, came out physically, because I'm autistic, so's Kyle.
Naturally.
We all are.
We like to buy physical copies of manga. And
Basically all the manga we read is physical.
yeah. But the last one, like, the greater majority of it, like, I'm talking entire book size until the very last, like, 3 pages. It was all, like, there's a gala coming up or something, and like it's all of the girls, like all 6 of them, getting ready to go to it in hopes that they can get with Goblin Slayer or hang out with them. And I can't even I didn't even read it. I just, because I have a bad habit of skimming through the manga before I read them. It's stupid. I know
I do the
shouldn't.
same thing right now with One Piece. I literally read the episode synopsis, seeing if it's even worth watching.
Well, I guess that's a different reason. I'm like, ha ha ha, new manga. But I looked through it, and it's just all that. That's the entire one, and I didn't read it, and I don't know if I'm going to.
Hey, remember when the fighter got violently raped and pulverized?
Yep. And that's why I like Year One, but I'm going to stop watching Year One too, but because it's starting to loop back around to that.
Well,
Year One was really cool because it shows him before he like knows anybody and he's just soloing and stuff. That's what I liked about Goblin Slayer, because it was the violence that I needed.
It was the man slaying fucking goblins in weird fucking ways.
my view on harem animes is they belong in 2006 and they should stay in 2006, like 8 high school, what is it, DxD or something?
Yeah.
That thing was like the OG super harem, whatever shit, titties, whatever.
I'll
thing.
Yeah,
say
it was a
this
big
now.
one.
I only go to harems now for porn.
Sure.
And if anybody wholeheartedly disagrees with that statement, you're lying.
You're not a true jihadi.
You're lying. Nobody likes harems for the true plot.
Shit. Like, I've noticed that it's, I've gotten to, what is it, episode 800 something of One Piece within a month of watching it from 0.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've noticed that, well, One Piece has a lot of filler in each episode. Like, if it says it's 24 minutes long, in reality it's maximum 19, or hell, even shorter, because they add in all these fillers from before. So,
As well as the opening and
And then
too.
here's the thing, like, I've noticed the first couple hundred episodes, it was so good. No plot, as in no big titties, no fan service, no nothing. Like, it had it's funny because it feels like there was, I got a lot of vibes from Cowboy Bebop in the first couple hundred episodes, which is crazy because I was like, well, it's really old and dated, let's see how good it is. And I was like, the visuals are hella outdated, you know, the fights are outdated, everything like that, but the character development, the friggin' jokes, the friggin' storytelling is like, whoa! But like, and then now I'm at like episode after like after couple years arc, whatever, the 2-year jump in the story, because they stop it here and then they jump 2 years into the future and then they're all like buff and trained and everything has big titties, and I'm like, cease, I want better character design and story. But it feels so repeaty now. It's like every arc that they go through, it feels like it's just rehashing the same thing over and over and over.
That's when that's why I don't think I'll ever be able to jump into One Piece or Dragon Ball or Naruto, because I feel like they all kind of loop back to that. Because you see this especially with Dragon Ball, because how many times have they been like, this is as strong as you get, and then they have like Instinct and then Ultra Instinct. They keep having to one up themselves because that's just how it goes. That's the way that they've set out doing it. It's like you will always become more and more strong.
I mean, honestly, in that case specifically, that's the thing I hate about a lot of anime and series and shit, where they say like, X person is strong. I remember this is actually a minor problem, but it's a problem I had with Gleipnir.
Yeah.
There were so
Never
many
seen
times in Gleipnir where, because the whole thing of Gleipnir is like, people, they look human, but they can enter big old scary monster mode, and they can get stronger through bullshit. But the main character's got like dog smell-o-vision, and he can like smell people out, and he's like, oh yeah, that person, he's fucking strong, don't fuck with that guy. And so there are just multiple times where someone will come out of nowhere and he'll just sniff them out. It's like, this person's strong, we can't deal with strong. And I remember the last volume I read, it was basically him up against a person and sniffs him out. It's like, they're pretty strong. This is going to be a very difficult fight. And then, like, the whole thing was that she had some dragon bullshit coming out of her arm, and she's, like, breathing fire. It's like, aha, I'm going to end you because you're so weak. And then he just pops out, she, like, lights him the fuck up, and he pops out and just instantly kills her. It's like, ha.
And
So,
that's
none
the
of it
thing
mattered,
with Gleipnir, too, was it's a long manga. Like, it's a really long manga. I can honestly say the majority of the reason that I stuck with it was because the art was amazing. It looked really good, but one thing that pissed me off the most about it was, like, they build this up for so long, and then the final boss is, like, the same extent of, like, somebody that he beat the shit out of in, like, the first manga.
Yep.
But they were fighting the same guy for, like, 3 mangas long, and then even in the end, it was, like, chasing, like, back and forth, and then in the end, he kind of died really easily, too.
Are you talking about Ubelblatt?
Yes.
You called it Gleipnir, because I was talking about Gleipnir.
Oh, I was talking. I got mixed up.
here's
But
the
that's
thing, though.
what I say still stands.
Wait,
Yes.
but here's the thing, though. It still stands. Like, I got the same exact thing from One Piece, except...
Gleipnir, though, too. I heard Ubelblatt when you said that.
Well, the thing with One Piece is the main character, the Straw Hat guy,
Yeah,
Luffy.
Luffy.
He doesn't give a shit on how strong someone else is, and, like, his intentions are always noble. That's one thing I like about him. It's never out for titties. He's never out for the money or
of
anything.
the world.
No, he's literally out for the adventure. And I was like, that's fucking based. But, like, the thing is, I really liked it in the beginning because it was focusing on, like, crew and backstory and building the character up. And then now all it is like, all the enemies are the same, as in, like, every enemy is just stronger, and then it just builds up in an arc, beat the main boss for, like, 10 episodes straight, goes back down, does the same thing over and over and over, and I'm kind of contemplating on dropping it now, because, like, I'm at episode 800, and it just feels like I've gotten into the habit of skipping, because it's just
Here's the
filler
thing.
and boring.
If you feel like you should skip it, it's probably best to just cut it off there. Because another thing, too, if you keep holding on to it even longer, you're going to feel less and less like cutting it off after, like, that amount of time, too, even though all the while back you feel like you should have. I feel the same way about that time I got reincarnated as a slime. I stopped reading that one, and I feel like I should have a while, too. I have a lot of manga on that shelf that I feel like I could have, but there's a bunch that I'm very glad I stuck with. Like Saga of Tanya the Evil, Made in Abyss. Oh my god, Made in Abyss, man. It's
I
like...
haven't gotten caught up with that one.
You
so
should,
good.
so you can be depressed like us.
Because with those ones, it has that level of, like, oh yes, people are still, like, super heightened with, like, these things that they've acquired, but they're still human. They can still get the shit kicked out of them. And I'm not talking like, oh, Goku gets slapped a bunch and then he holds his side in the middle of a field and then talks about friendship.
And then farts.
Yeah, or Deku saying a, like, 15-page monologue and then kind of whooping ass but kind of getting his ass beaten at the same time. No, I'm talking like somebody almost died and they almost didn't make it because of something as small as getting stabbed through the hand.
See, I definitely resonate with that because it's just all the anime, like, this is why I distanced myself from, like, fighting animes so long ago. And One Piece is the one thing that I've seen so far that's a fighting anime in, like, years, okay? Because I usually stick with, like, slice of life, depression, drama stuff, like Shape of a Voice.
As
Yep.
you do.
God fucking tier, okay?
Yeah, that like...
Not the best ending, but still God tier.
I mean, I feel like it isn't the best ending because you don't see a definite ending. But, like,
Yeah.
it's still open-ended in the realm of
And you know it's
positivity.
gonna end well.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, if there ever is, like, a continuation, which there shouldn't
there
be,
shouldn't be, don't do it.
don't do it. Don't fucking do it.
Listen here.
It's up to our imagination what happens.
Yeah, you don't need to bring the... Yeah, they fucking suck.
But, like,
Quaking.
Your little nuts are gonna quake.
I really appreciate these days the animes that are 12 episodes long, but they
are able to convey enough of the character in that short period
That's
of time.
so important because the same thing goes for manga. All of the best ones ended super quickly.
That's fine by me.
And like that, listen, I know we're gonna eventually we'll get people being like, but what about Berserk? Berserk is a different level.
Haven't
Berserk
watched
is
it.
different. Don't watch it.
Good.
That's
I
the
won't.
thing. Don't watch it. Read
I'm not
the manga.
gonna watch. Oh, okay.
Read the manga. Manga's good. There's no deviations. There's no like, oh, there's these side stories with these two characters that like rips apart a bunch of actual canon stuff. No, it's all one story, and that's all it needs to be.
I'm honestly gonna probably just stick with slice of life because fantasy just makes me depressed. To be honest,
I mean,
with you.
Well, if you don't want to be depressed, don't go to Berserk.
I'm
I
already
mean,
depressed.
Berserk is very slice of life. You know how many fucking lives get sliced?
if you're looking for visuals as well as good story, but you will be depressed, go to Berserk.
It's one of the like. It's actually funny to go back and look at the early volumes of Berserk because it's good art. Miura is a very good artist, and you can see it there. But then you reach the late Berserk, and
Is it just sloppy.
it's amazing.
Oh, okay.
It's
I love that. I love that.
It's like it goes from good art to this man paints a fucking mural as every page.
It's kind of like what is that? Comey can't communicate.
Can't communicate.
Like the
Yeah.
beginning versus now. It's like the main character dude is literally just the regular, most generic main character ever. But now he's a fucking like they drew him like a Chad or something. And
Listen, I'm going to say something very controversial.
big titties.
I liked the first couple manga of Negataro, Please Don't Bully Me, as well as Komi Can't Communicate, as well as Kaguya-sama, Love is War.
I still like that one.
I will not continue them, though,
Really.
because it's nothing against people that listen, that watch it, or, like, read it, or whatnot, or the people that made it. It's just, I have a feeling of, I know how it ends. And even if it isn't that,
It's gonna never end. Or
I'm not willing to subject myself to putting myself through that. Because I know, even if it ends the way that I would want it to, I don't want to have to stick around to be there to see it.
You see, I feel similar, but for different reasons.
just real quick.
I don't think of it like this. I don't think of it as like I know how it ends. I think of it like there is no substance. Like I prefer something.
Yeah, it
with,
doesn't
like,
really have sticking power.
well, yeah, and you know,
Stuff gets old after a while, and I will not take offense when people demonize me for saying that. Even if you have the absolute perfect fucking algorithm, it's gonna get old.
well, and I'm just saying like. The thing is, right, to take Comey Can't Communicate as an example, you know, the whole thing is, right, oh, she's trying to make friends, but it's also like a slice of life thing, you know. Nothing's really going to happen in it. There's going to be no main, you know, no huge conflict or issue with it. And it's
You know,
because
the
of that.
biggest thing that will happen is they end up together in the end.
Yeah.
Or they don't end up together in the end.
Yeah, which would be a twist, but it's like, oh no.
And
But
think about how that's the thing too. You know, it would never deviate from that either.
Yeah,
because
probably not.
How pissed off would people be at the writer?
How
if
pissed
they-
off would I be? Very.
if they were like, Comey loses all of her friends in the end, or like if they deviate from that, it's like, you know, it's gonna end up that way. Or she's like, maybe I don't need all these friends and I just need to keep a small circle. It will only be those two possibilities.
See, with Comey, I kind of dropped it, as in like I'm just not reading it anymore. I keep it as a tab because I read online, unlike you plebeians. I'm just kidding. I'm the pleb.
No, listen.
But like,
We both know we're the plebs.
Like,
you guys spend money. That's the
Yeah.
plebby part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes me the Chad.
But it also
like,
makes sure that I do my best to only buy things I know I will enjoy.
Yeah.
true.
But still, that's beside the point.
But I've noticed that a lot of the I don't like it when it's just going on for 5 years or 10 years. I don't give a shit how long it's going for. I just want it to end, you know? And it's just it's like friggin' Comey is just
I stopped reading when I friggin' knew. I was like, okay, they're just gonna keep making friends forever, and they're not gonna actually go on with the story. It's all just gonna be shit like that.
I can kind of highlight it my waning interest like this. I read the first Comey Can't Communicate because I heard it was good and knew it was cute. I said, wow, this is pretty good, this is pretty cute. And then I picked up the second volume. I then got an entire new stack of manga, and then another stack of manga on top of that, and I read through all of those stacks before I touched the second volume of Comey. And then I read it, said, oh, this is pretty good, this is pretty cute, and then I put it down and said, I don't really feel like getting the next volume. It's like, I enjoy reading it, it's nice, it's wholesome, it makes me feel all like there's beauty in the world, and then I put it down and it's gone.
And that's the thing too. There is an importance when it comes to filler manga, especially for people that don't buy the physical copies because they can afford more to read like just things that it's like, okay, maybe turn your brain off for a little bit, just enjoy it, happy vibes and stuff. But it's not Made in Abyss. It's not something that you're like actively more so looking forward to when it's coming out. With like the way that I saw Comey Can't Communicate, as well as Please Don't Bully Me Negataro, and like Teasing Master, I can't remember the one.
Teasing Master Senpai-chan.
Yeah, the one with the big forehead. But
yeah,
not me. But but like, I'd pick those up and I'd be like, oh, this one's out. But I would know the exact date that the next Made in Abyss would come out, or the exact date that Tawny the Evil would come out, or when it was still running, the exact date that Girls' Last Tour was coming out, or when it was still running, or when I still enjoyed it more so, when Goblin Slayer was coming out, all of those ones. They weren't those ones. The ones that I was actually, like, genuinely looking forward to. All the other ones were like, oh, this one's out now, I guess I'll get that one while I'm waiting.
The way I view it is when I just have an intuition that this is going to be good, is when I know it's going to have an ending. Whether it be bad or good, it'll have an ending. And I've only gotten the feel of that from 2 mangas I've read so far, and that's Oyasumi Punpun or Goodnight Punpun.
Exactly. It helps when there's actually an ending already present too, when like a manga has stopped.
Yeah, and then Shape of a Voice.
Mm-hmm.
Those I knew for a friggin' fact. The moment I read the first chapter, I was like, okay, it's either gonna have a good ending or a bad ending, but I know it's gonna be good regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Like endings are very important. Don't get me wrong, but it's the entire story that matters. That's the 90%. The ending's the 10%. That's like the climax. And it's like, if it's good, it's friggin' amazing. If it's bad, it's bad. But the story was good. The ride was good. Then no problem. No foul, right?
And that's the thing that you have to gamble with when you're going into like picking a new anime or manga, because a lot of them will just stretch on.
Yeah.
I guarantee we'll still be seeing My Hero Academia stuff when we're 40. Because that one has had the staying power for 5 years, and it's still going to keep trucking.
It's kind of like One Piece. It's been chugging along since like early 2000s, and it's not stopping.
Yeah.
Why would it?
I mean, some people like that stuff. Like, here's how I view it. The people that like One Piece, like Dragon Ball Z, like, what's another very base tier? Attack on Titan.
Naruto.
Bleach.
Yeah, base tier friggin' action animes. That's what I call it. I only gave One Piece a shot just because I played a game. It was a part of my nostalgia trip, real quick.
Mm-hmm. I think you mentioned this one last time.
Yeah, but like the game is friggin' fun. But I was like, I really like this guy. I wonder what the backstory of this guy is. And I watched a little bit. He's a pretty cool guy. He's the same guy that voiced Dio in JoJo, believe it or not. There's a lot of voice actors from One Piece that goes to like other really famous animes that I've noticed. Because I was like curious, because I swear to God I heard this guy at one point, and one of the main antagonists actually voiced in Monogatari series very shortly. So I was like, I fucking knew it! I fucking knew it!
That's the thing that I liked about my early anime watching days as well. I really liked I really liked Angel Beats because it had an ending. I really liked Hellsing because it had an ending. I really liked, what the fuck were the other ones? I had a bunch in mind, but I'm too drunk and high to remember. No, I was gonna say, Is This a Zombie? But that doesn't have much of an ending.
It doesn't have an ending.
See,
Elfen Lied has an anime ending. I really liked that one.
it's been so long since I watched Elfen Lied. Now that I think about it.
It's
Same with Mirai Nikki. What's that?
Mirai Future Diary. Yeah.
That one. Like,
Another as well. I really liked Another.
I've watched that. It was so long ago. Shit. But
I'm tempted to go back and rewatch it too.
Here's the thing, though. Some animes I deliberately don't rewatch, because I know for a fact my opinion might change, for better or worse. But like, I like to keep that good.
I'm
the
worried about
only-
that for Hellsing Ultimate, because like I know I would still love the visuals of Hellsing Ultimate, but like the tropes and stuff, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'd like kind of eye roll. But like when I was younger, it was like, yeah, I fucking love everything about this.
Like, for me, my number one anime still to this day is Guilty Crown. People shit on it. People never heard of it. I love it. Character development's amazing, but I deliberately don't rewatch it. I have it on my files in my computer, just in case I want to. But it's such a good nostalgia trip just for memory that I don't want to rewatch it just because I'm afraid it might ruin it. And I don't want to dethrone it.
The only series I've ever actually rewatched has been like old comedies I liked and like the first animes I ever saw. Other than that, I never really went back to rewatch.
Some of the
Any
rewatch
anime.
materials are definitely like, what is it? What is that one? Nichijou.
Yeah, boy.
Joe.
That one is a top tier rewatch material, hands down. 10 out of 10. Best comedy ever. Even if you don't understand some of it, like
I
Well,
think
the
that's kind of the
visuals
point.
too really do it a lot of the time too. It's
The
such a
visuals are
visually
amazing.
stunning anime.
yeah. And have you seen Bakemonogatari all the way?
I watched the first 3 episodes.
Okay.
I will be honest.
That's fine.
I'm not much of an anime person.
No, that's fine. But like, I don't think there's a manga for it because Bakemonogatari is a strictly or Monogatari series is strictly a light novel, and then they turned it into an anime.
There is.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure
It's
they
either
have been
really short
releasing-
or they haven't really made much progress in it.
Yeah.
I don't remember because I know they did Katanagatari, although I'm not sure if that's related at all.
That is, I think. There's a lot.
All
of
I know is that
novels.
that's the one that had the art style that I'm like, this is quirky and weird, and so that's the only one I had interest in. But I
Monogatari
still
has a
never watched
distinct
it.
art style that I really like. It's by Studio Shaft, and the Nisio Isin, the author, has like a specific art style. But the thing is, the main point is, there are some episodes that I just watch. Only just that episode from this one anime season.
For the toothbrush scene.
Absolutely.
No, absolutely not. Episode 12, Bakemonogatari, end of the season, I think. Or end of Bakemonogatari. And it is such a good episode that I can just watch it standalone. And it's great as standalone. And it's such a good episode alone. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. All I
And
can
you
say
know
is,
how good episodes always end?
what?
With the ending. I'd like to thank all of you for coming to the MD cast.
For a second, I thought that sounded profound, but actually it wasn't.
Well, welcome to me saying anything. Good night, everyone.
Allahu Akbar.